Nice. Thank you again for tuning in to Anything Else Somewhere Else podcast with me, Olli Eldrick, joined today by...
Mr. Alex Lints.
And on our third mic, we have Mr. Dallas Outsider.
Hello, I'm Dallas Outsider.
Thank you for twiddling with our knobs. And in the guest chair today, we have the wonderful and inimitable Mr. Chris Vasseur.
Ooh, woo.
I don't even know what that word means, but thank you.
Chris, this is a podcast for musicians, by musicians, a local shop for local people. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
I'm a singer-songwriter from around these parts, born and raised Swift Current. Was in Calgary for about 20 years and moved back here after a series of events, including a really fun divorce, and lost a bunch of people. It's really, really depressing.
Well, tell us about your music at the very least.
That kind of pushed me into music when I moved back to Saskatoon and discovered that Saskatoon has this wonderful music scene. So 2020, when COVID happened, I decided when I turned 40 that I should jump into the music scene. Seemed like a good thing to do. So I released my first record in 2020 when COVID hit, and and I've been struggling to the middle ever since. And then just last year, it kind of all came together with the formation of Christopher and the Saints, which is the band that I'm currently playing with, and we're kind of getting going with things. Yeah.
Well, we love you, Chris, and we love your music, but for God's sake, can you talk about anything else?
No, before you do, I want to guess.
Well, I don't think I can guess because he gave me some options.
Well, I think it's going to be the luthering. I think it's going to be the luthering. Chris is a great luthier and a guitar tech, so I think he's going to be talking about that today.
I think he's going to throw us the curveball he texted me, and he's going to talk about Lego today.
Lego?
Oh,
Dallas,
maybe.
you haven't been informed
Yeah,
about
Dallas,
anything.
what's your guess? Just by your interactions with Chris.
Sheer vibage.
Oh boy, I have no clue. This is my second time meeting Chris today. So.
Oh,
Exactly.
now I don't want to do any
So
of
you know
them,
everything
but-
about him. What would you think his special interest is?
I think he would be into like JRPGs or something like that.
God
you know?
damn it.
Into what now?
Okay. Well, Chris, please.
What are you going to talk about today?
I don't know what that's. Well, I was going to flip a coin, but I think I'm going to go with the Lego.
All right.
I'm going to go with the
Go
Lego.
ahead. We all love a bit of Lego.
So just tell a little bit of a Lego story.
Let's go.
Well, it means play well in Danish. I know that much.
Le
and
God?
it was, yeah, that's
Interesting.
right. And it was founded back in the late 1300s by a witch in Denmark, as I think the story goes. And they had a duck that they turned into a wooden toy, which was very, very popular. And then it turned out the ducks were very hard to come by, very, very difficult to turn into wood. If you've ever seen the Monty Python documentary about the Holy Grail, it explains that to detail in that. If a duck weighs the same as wood and it floats. Anyway, it's very, very scientific. I won't get into it. But then what happened is the Lego castle burned down. So they stopped making toys until sometime in the early 1900s. And then they had another factory, and then that one burnt down, and then they realized that plastic doesn't burn. And then they started making plastic bricks. And that's the story of how Lego got started, I think, roughly here and there. There's probably more wizards involved. But so I obviously, like a lot of kids in the 80s, as I was, I'm an old man, but I was a Gen Xer, child of the 80s. So Lego was really, really popular back then. Kind of hit its heyday with like Space Lego and Castle Lego and all this kind of stuff. So fond memories of that, being an only child, playing with that on my own is kind of my BFF growing up. And it just kind of pushed the creativity forward in kids. And I think that was, I blame that a lot for my love of like architecture, of engineering, and just how things go together and how they're built and how they work. I just love how that all works in Legos. It's a lot to do with that. And I kind of gave up on it, like grew up, as it were, a little, well, still haven't. But then in my late 20s, I want to say, when I started having a little bit more of a disposable income, I was looking for something to do. So I started a new tradition because my birthday's on December 27th, 2 days after Christmas. Mm-hmm. My whole life it's been shit. No one's ever been around. So it's always been, oh, poor Chris, only child, on 2 days after Christmas. My friends are gone. So I never had a good birthday. So I'm like, screw it. Like when I had a little bit of money, I'm gonna go buy myself a bottle of Crown Royal, and I'm gonna go buy myself a fucking Lego set, and I'm gonna sit and drink my Crown Royal, and I think I got a cigar, and yeah, I bought the Millennium Falcon, and it was it was so rad, and I spent like $150 on it, which felt like really like a lot of money.
Which
in my
terms of
late
Lego
20s
is
on
actually
a
not
toy,
bad.
just something I'm gonna. But then it kind of it spawned a new addiction again, and that was like in my late 20s, and now I'm in my mid to late 40s, and it just gets worse and worse and worse every year.
So it's been a long love for Lego.
Oh yeah.
I do remember growing up, and I remember that Lego. I remember them. I don't know if it was the first Millennium Falcon they did. I don't want to speak with that much authority, but I remember the one they came out with. You know, when they were doing all the other Lego Star Wars stuff, and everyone wanted it.
Oh yeah.
And then we all told our parents. You know, this is back in about 2004ish, 2005ish, maybe.
That was probably when I, as an adult man, was buying it at the toy store.
And it's going to show my little age gap. I was about 10ish at the time, and I remember begging my folks.
Oh yeah.
And they were like, "Do you really?" And I remember writing down, "I want these stormtroopers, this stuff," and they were like, "Do you have any idea how much Lego costs?" And I was like, "Well, it can't be that much. It's Lego. It's fun. It's always been there." No, and I've since worked at a toy store and just been an adult with a darling girlfriend who loves Lego a lot. Lego's expensive.
That's its biggest downfall. I will promote that company all day because they have such a great business model.
It is great. It's great. It's great quality.
High quality, and they always gear it towards kids. Like that's their main thing. If the kids aren't liking it, that they don't want to do it. They're trying to go completely eco-friendly by 2036 or something like that. So all the bricks are being all the things that are plant-based now are made out of
which is
renewable materials and stuff like that, and it's rad. And the stuff that is coming out now is insane.
And they're so inventive and they're so fun with it.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
I do remember when I was working at the toy shop back in the UK, that there was this huge thing that you will make no money selling Lego.
Yeah.
As a toy company, it's so expensive to buy in Lego because they know you're going to buy it.
They almost fold it.
Because if you are a toy company that doesn't sell Lego, you are a toy company that goes out of business because you need to sell Lego.
Nowadays, it's the biggest thing on the market.
They did have that wobble.
In the 80s and 90s, they had a couple little wobbles. But then, there's a documentary by, I can't remember what it's called, but Jason Bateman narrates it.
Kraken.
And it's a great documentary. Kind of goes through the whole history of the company and everything like that. And it's just a feel-good story. And they make just a cool thing. Just a cool product.
You much of a Lego kid, Alex?
100%, yeah. I have crap loads of Lego just sitting at home waiting for me to have the space to actually have it again.
Right, that's become a real concern in my late 40s is where I'm going to put all my Lego.
Now, did you ever go down the route I did? As someone who went into film and stuff, did you ever do stop motion Lego films?
Absolutely.
It's so much fun.
Absolutely. And I can't talk about it.
Yeah.
Never mind. No. Nope, never mind.
Hey. Fair. Well, you can talk. You just got to take a drink.
Okay. Well, go to my music YouTube channel, and you might find the Lego stuff.
well, we're all gonna have a little bit of a drink. You're making us all suffer there.
Called just fine.
Chris, are you the type of guy that's big on the integrity of keeping sets together, or are you a mix and matcher?
Oh God, no. I have problems with keeping these together. I have GAD, which is an anxiety and type thing. It's like ADHD, so that would really bug me.
So if there was pirates crewing the Millennium Falcon, you'd lose your mind.
I don't unless I made it, because I've made a couple creations on my shelf.
Catalog where everything would have to go back to.
I gotta know. Yeah, I have one bin for the forgotten Lego, and that's just where I throw everything in. I tried building something creatively, and I can't do it. I need the instructions now, because now it's a release instead of a creative endeavor. I'm doing it because someone else already did the thinking part. I do that enough in all my other stuff. I like Lego now that I don't have to think. I can just sit down, drink my whiskey, and build my model.
I don't think I could do the whole Lego pile if I bought my own stuff. Mm-hmm. But growing up, my cousin James,
when I was younger,
shout out James if you're listening. My cousin James had this pile of Lego, and it was one of those things where it's just sets and refuse piles just all put together.
Yeah.
That if someone gave me one of those, I'd love to have a go with that. But I couldn't build my own at this point. It would it would feel wrong. It'd feel.
I tried building a guitar out of it, and No,
I've
it's
seen
failed.
people doing that a
Yeah.
lot, like on Instagram and stuff. And yeah, I imagine that's really hard.
Well, and Lego actually has one now. Lego
Yeah.
put out a Fender one.
Well, little drink gentleman.
oh, sorry.
Dallas, you haven't really
I knew that was
inputted.
going to happen.
Dallas, you haven't really inputted much. Were you? I mean, we know you're a video game
was
child. But
Never a Lego fan, honestly. I barely touched Legos as a kid.
Well, you're of the
But-
video game era.
Did you play the Legos
Like,
game?
there was no more
No, I couldn't
textile
get into those
toys
either. I
anymore.
did play a lot of Minecraft. I don't know if you played any of that, but it does have a little bit of like
the
similarity.
Bubble Kid Lego. Yeah.
I've seen
yeah.
my partner's children he's like they're 17 and 14, and the younger one is really into Minecraft.
We got into
But,
Minecraft a bit over Christmas with
yeah.
your brother.
With my little brother, yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool.
And I've got some fond memories of Minecraft.
It's the same kind of thing. It's very same worlds. Like it would made a lot of sense for those two companies to merge.
So does your love of like building things? This is not me trying to lean into Luthering. I'm not. I'm actually. Did it lean into any? Is there any other like pastimes? Like, do you get into like wargaming or dioramas or like even like Connects or like
I like miniatures.
Meccano?
Yeah, I like building miniatures. I always build things in miniature. I was in the sign industry for 20 years too, designing things. So I always built my big scale models or like signs in small before I built them big. Just
Yeah.
especially if they had a lot of 3D elements to them and stuff like that. So yeah, miniatures fascinate me. I had little train sets when I was young, and anything small and like I don't know.
I
It's-
took my
it's
parents
cool.
to the Western Development Museum.
Oh,
in
yeah,
Saskatoon
that place
recently.
is pretty
for
rad.
anyone who's never
Yeah,
been
that
before,
place
you've
is
got to
cool.
go. So many model trains, man. I
Yeah,
always
and you
thought
get to
they're
press the
great.
big red
Don't
button.
I love it. I actually met a guy. I was doing a film shoot a while ago with a guy who was who worked in the car industry, and his job was he wasn't building miniatures for cars. He was being given like design briefs by the engineers and stuff, saying like this is the shape that it's got to be
Oh, wow.
legally for this bonnet or whatever, and then he would build a full size car out of clay. Like
Yeah.
he would sculpt the car.
And then
Yeah, that's what they
how
all do.
It's
find
yeah,
out
but I
the,
didn't know that. That's an
aerodynamics
amazing
or
job.
whatever you
That's a
call it.
really cool job.
That'd
Yeah.
be super cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Only job that would be better would be working for Lego,
Yeah.
designing the
know
models.
that when it
But I don't
comes to,
know.
like,
that would take
the-
the fun out of it, maybe. I don't know.
When they build cars out of clay or whatever, like, you know how a golf ball flies farther because of like the divots all over it or whatever?
Dimples,
Yeah,
yeah.
the dimples. They tried that with a car apparently because
They did it on Mythbusters.
yeah, on
first.
Mythbusters, yeah. And they actually, I forget which car company it was, reached out to Mythbusters and
Yeah.
said to them, like, yeah, we tried the same thing, like, with a car or whatever, and we did not get the same results you guys
I
did.
saw Adam Savage talking about that.
Yeah.
Like, "Ooh, they did not get the same result." Like, that's probably because they used science instead of. Not that they didn't on Mythbusters, but excuse me, but it was a lot of like Hollywood science.
But I've got a question for you. Lego writes to you, like Chris, Bubby. You can design any kit you want. It could be for a pre-existing line. So it could be a new Star Wars thing or whatever. What is It could be a re-release of an old kit that you never got to have as a kid. It could be something brand new. What is your dream kit you'd love to see come to market?
Well, it's almost kind of out already.
What is it?
But the Titanic, that's like the
Yeah.
that's like the golden egg that I think I'll never get because it's ridiculously expensive.
Now, do you think the Titanic would have fared better if its engineers had played with Lego?
Absolutely, 100%. And if they weren't so damn cocky.
Do you think they could have made a full-size clay
A
Titanic
clay
first?
Titanic to test the
They would have
aerodynamics?
just deteriorated as it like went across the water. We've made the first clay boat.
Well, to be fair, during the Second World War, they were experimenting with making boats out of a thing called pikecrete,
Oh,
which
yeah,
is
fair
named
enough.
after a guy called Pike, combined with concrete. Pikecrete,
Yeah.
which is ice and sawdust,
Interesting.
Okay.
but it actually doesn't melt, or it doesn't melt very
That makes
fast.
sense. Yeah.
So you can kind of refreeze it really easily.
Be like glue and sawdust.
And it floats, and it was basically like, how do we make ships real fast to do the transatlantic crossing during the Second World War? And there's a story, I don't know how true it is, of a Pike or one of his people coming in and throwing a lump of it into Churchill's bath while he was bathing, because Churchill used to take meetings in the bath nude as an intimidation tactic, and so they just threw it, and he was like, marvelous. And then the war ended before they could use it.
Now, could you make Winston Churchill out of Lego?
Yeah, I don't know if you'd need a lot of jowl pieces, but I think you could do it.
You can make Winston Churchill, but you'd probably get it confused with Alfred Hitchcock.
Yeah. Did you final thing? Did you know that Lego is the largest manufacturer of tires in the world?
I did know that,
It's
yeah.
it's
That's
one of my
pretty cool.
It's one of the most boring fun facts I
Yeah,
have.
I
but
love it though. That's great.
Yeah.
Okay, well, part of this podcast also is that, we are trying to educate Dallas Outsider over here. Like he's an audio engineer, but that's like his only formal education. And I don't think he was all that interested in regular education as a kid. So,
Or anything.
now's or anything. So now's his time that we're trying to like kind of educate him. And this podcast is a great way to get people on that talk about things that they know a lot about that he maybe doesn't. So Dallas, do you have any questions for Chris about Lego?
What wrestler do you think would walk a mile barefoot on Legos?
Bret the Hitman Hart.
Oh, good choice. Good choice.
Because he's the best that was, the best that is, and the best that ever will be. Calgary. Woo!
Shout out
RIP.
to Calgary.
We're gonna move on now. So we're gonna be covering. These are our regular segments. We're gonna start with one of my favorites, which is a segment called Who Dis. I'm gonna give you the name of a real person from history. This person did exist. I'm not asking you to tell me who this person actually was. Just give me a description of the person who you think they would be based on vibes. And today we have the unforgettable, and obviously everyone at home should know this, Michael the minus a quarter.
Michael the minus a quarter of the Tree Hill quarters. Yeah. Inventor the nickel, funny enough. Yeah. It's a curveball that you wouldn't see coming. I believe he invented it in around 1964, I think, right after a World Series game.
Now, Chris, did he invent the nickel because of his name, or did he get the name because of his invention of the nickel?
Good question. That's still up for debate. Many scholars have written many volumes of books about that.
I'm looking forward to seeing the next academic paper on this.
He was like, man, I could really like not pay with 5 pennies anymore. I really wish there was just a coin that could just.
Right?
The next segment that we've got, I want to make sure that our guests, you guys know this, I want to make sure our guests are able to answer questions quick on their feet, much in the same way as young 20-somethings in the southern United States can in beauty pageants. So this is my Miss World segment. This is a real question asked by a judge to a beauty pageant contestant at some point, and I just want to see what your answer is. This one comes from Miss Central Texas Teen 2022. How would you describe Austin to someone who's never been?
World peace.
Fair enough. I don't
See, the funny thing is when you initially kind of picked that question, I was like, oh, but Chris looks like the kind of guy who's been to Austin a lot.
No, but I wish I had been.
Well, they always say keep Austin weird, and if Chris went, Austin would be kept weird for a while.
Yeah, maybe.
Do you want to talk about
rid of
Lego
this.
guitars for a bit? Okay. Next, we're gonna actually pit you. This is gonna be a bit of a competitive streak.
Ooh, okay.
We are going to be asking you some relatively recent questions from Trivial Pursuit. By relatively recent, I mean they're from 1993. Chris, as the guest, you will get first dibs at the answer. But if you don't get them correct, we'll be passing them to Dallas Outsider.
Are you smarter than Dallas Outsider?
Oh, that's what the segment's
Yeah,
called
it
now.
really
Are
is,
you
yeah.
smarter than Dallas Outsider? That's fantastic.
It's the same as Are You Smarter Than a 10-Year-Old? It's just been copywritten. And Dallas is 26, 25.
So, Chris,
It's almost double.
what sitcom did NBC move from Wednesday to Thursday to avoid Home Improvement in 1993?
Seinfeld.
It was Seinfeld.
Okay.
One to our visitor. Let's see here. What country allowed student dissident Chen Ziming to work on his doctorate while in jail?
North Korea.
Okay, that's not correct. So, Dallas, here's your chance to steal.
South Africa.
No, it was China.
Damn.
Should have been a sort of a home swing there.
Chris, who arrived in Des Moines from Hawaii prompting a flood survivor's sign, Aloha Bill, welcome to the other big island?
Bill Clinton.
It was Bill Clinton.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's 2-0 to Chris Vasseur.
That was a stab in the dark. Wow.
Wow, they really liked Bill Clinton on this, but that's not the answer. What was the margin of victory when the Senate passed Bill Clinton's budget bill in 1993?
Is this number of seats or is this percentage?
This
Oh,
is the
jeepers.
it's how many votes?
12? I don't
Oh, wait.
29.
It was 1.
Oh. That goes to no one. I think that's still 2-0 to Chris.
And this, I believe, is our final question.
is indeed.
So this is
boy.
for all the Well, actually, no, it's not because Chris has too many points. But anyway, what name did Anaheim choose for its National Hockey League franchise?
The Mighty Ducks.
The Mighty Ducks.
Alex, you're a fan of the Mighty Ducks, aren't you?
I am a fan of the Ducks. I have been a Mighty Ducks fan since, well, I was a very little kid.
The
And
movie?
actually, it wasn't even the movie that did it for me. It was the cartoon series.
Because the movie came
There's a
very
cartoon
first,
too.
I think.
It was named after the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought so. I remember when that Ducks
Which
came
is,
to-
it's not a good thing to name. You're naming your NHL professional team that you're hoping to contend for the Stanley Cup after a little league team that it can't even attract anything more than a convict for a
But
coach.
it was a popular, and Disney owned the team originally.
They did.
And that was I think that was their big push.
It-
It was
it
like
was,
going to be Disney's team, and
Which
then they
honestly,
were
for
just
me,
awful.
I think the Ducks represent like a really bad downturn that the NHL has seen and a lot of professional sports where the fun is kind of being taken out of it.
Yeah.
Like Arrowhead Pond became the Honda Center. Like that's lame. And then the logo, which they've now brought back, and I will be buying a jersey this year.
It is
'cause
a
they've
good
got
logo.
the
It
original
is.
logo back. The duck hockey mask and everything.
oh yeah.
Did any of you see like the animated series though?
no,
the
no.
Mighty Ducks.
I didn't even know there was an animated
It was
Maybe.
about
series.
it was about a hockey team of ducks that came from a planet, an alien planet, where they were all ducks, and they'd been taken over by these alien lizard people, and they escaped on a ship and were fighting them on Earth like the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, but
Well, that
all their
makes sense.
gear was like hockey sticks and shit. It was
So they're-
fantastic.
Is it canonical to the films? Is it canonical to the real team?
I think it was canonical to the real team.
Did they
Yeah.
actually play on the team in real life?
I
these
think they may
aliens?
have. I think the original lineup of the Mighty Ducks were aliens from another planet.
Okay.
It is LA. It's a weird place.
We are going to be now moving to our quick fire round. These are the questions we've asked every single guest so far. Again, this is just to create a psychological profile for our listeners to understand
Oh,
who
good.
Chris Vasseur is at home.
Uh-oh.
The first one is, what is your favorite Tom Hanks movie?
Ooh, Forrest Gump. Yeah,
Forrest Gump.
Forrest Gump,
I think so.
best scene?
Oh, jeez. When he had too many Dr. Peppers, and he had to go pee at the White House.
It's a good one. It's a
Yeah,
good
I like
one.
that scene. Yeah.
Thank you also for giving us
I like
the-
that scene
I got
because
to
it spoke to
play.
me.
We've been trying to like ease people into doing a Tom Hanks impression on
Oh,
every
yeah. I'll
episode.
do Forrest Gump impressions all day.
It's great.
I'm not a smart man, Jenny.
Have you been to the Bubba Gump shrimp restaurant?
I have.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting.
Like Dallas and I both share a love of like chain restaurants.
That's
But
a
mine's
weird
more like
one,
a whimsical love, like, oh, this is a strange Americanism that my British brain can't fully comprehend. Dallas will exclusively eat at chains if he can help it.
Like when we put out the new November Down single Letters to Bismarck, and everybody take a drink because talk about music. We were talking about wanting to play a show in Bismarck, and Dallas was mainly excited about it because they have a big boy.
Oh, nice. With the statue?
Yeah.
Cool. I'd like to see one of those statues.
Actually, if one of the statues I really want to go see is in it's mentioned in the song. I'm not going to mention it any further than that though. Is in Pierre, South Dakota. They have the world's largest cheeseburger statue, and it is underwhelmingly small. You think it's massive? It's just a bit. It's big. It's like
of a
the
regular
size of
cheeseburger.
like the size of like our table, just on a plinth. And it's like
That's not that big.
Yeah, it's not that big. Like you'd think it would be like building size.
Yeah.
I
I'm sure there's
swear-
somewhere in Vegas you could order something that
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was about to say, I swear there's been McDonald's that have had.
I think there's been a real burger that's been made bigger than
You can get the size of that in Fuddruckers with the 1 pound burger.
Thanks for that, Alice.
Moving on, so we are going to continue on the food thing. What cereal leaves the best milk?
Oh. Jeepers. I don't even know. I don't put milk in cereal anymore. I
What do you
just
eat
eat
it dry? I was
without
going to say
it.
you're
I
not
like
one of
it
those
that
wolf
way.
people.
What's that?
I only drink it with Crown Royal now.
That's right. I tried Cheerios with beer once on a dare, and that wasn't as terrible as it sounds.
It's not. Well, it's basically malt with malt.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
it's not a bad. Like there
It's
are
just-
definitely
it's
worse
just-
ones you could do.
It's just beer with pulp.
It's beer with what could have been beer.
Yeah, that makes sense. I'm gonna go with
But surely you had cereals
frosted
as a
mini
kid.
wheats.
Frosted mini
Have we had
wheats.
frosted mini wheats before? No, we had brown sugar mini wheats. Dan gave us
No,
brown
Those
sugar.
Dan,
ones are pretty
Dan
good,
said,
too.
yeah, oh yeah. No, Dan said brown sugar like shredded wheat, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was that
could-
the same
could-
thing?
we
I
could
don't
share
know.
back.
I never had.
But Dallas is our resident foodie.
I never had mini wheats.
Okay.
I'm
well,
not a big cereal guy anymore. The teenager at home loves it, but I don't know.
I'm a Smith. I go through waves.
I snack on
I
it.
go through waves.
Cinnamon Toast Crunch is the best one to snack on.
Yeah.
though.
The next one. We're moving away from food now.
Okay.
But we're going towards morning routines or evening.
Oh,
I don't judge.
Yeah, no.
When you shower, I don't imagine you showering a lot. No, I don't like to imagine. God damn it. I don't like to imagine.
I didn't think I stunk that bad. I mean, I washed my face in a mud puddle before I came in.
Do you face or turn away from the water?
A little bit of both.
You're a rotator.
Yeah.
We get
I'm
this a lot, but
rotator.
what
Now,
would
which
you
way
say?
do you rotate?
Do you go back and forth on the same
Counterclockwise.
Counterclockwise,
What,
man.
do you do a full rotation, or are you going like one way and
Oh,
then
yeah,
back
get a
the
little on the
same-
front, a little on the back, back to the front, back to the back. I don't know.
What's your,
Little
what's, your
twirly-do.
default, what's your default? Like, if you're just going to be, if it was like wait in the shower for a bit, which are you facing towards or what?
Oh,
What?
head on the wall like I'm dying.
Just go wait in the shower for a minute. Showing up to a dentist appointment. Oh, Chris, just wait in the shower for a minute. We'll be right with you.
Put my head against the wall and cry, and then you can't see the tears that way.
Yeah. And that's why I said in the first episode is it really helps you like create like an emotional impact for yourself. It's just
Yeah.
it's great.
I'm not crying.
But continuing on the shower front, soap or shampoo first?
I'm a 3-in-1 guy, so both.
Just all over. Just,
Yep.
You
Do you have
just sit there in
something
the
that
shower
does
dumping it
everything?
on you?
Yeah.
Shampoo, conditioner, body wash, toothpaste.
What's the highest in one you've seen?
Probably like a 5-in-1.
I've seen a 5-in-1, but I don't know
couldn't
what the
even
5
guess.
were.
No, I couldn't even make a guess.
Shampoo, conditioner,
Body
body wash,
Yeah.
face wash.
Toothpaste?
Yeah, what is that fifth one? That's a good question.
Lotion?
Lube.
No. For any young people listening,
Sunday topping.
the shower doesn't work as well as you think it does. We're moving swiftly on. Okay, Chris, this is a good one for you. As a man who we've talked about, who collects Lego, and as a man who collects guitars as well. I'm, building, rebuilding, and repairing.
Collect guitars, you say? That sounds musical.
Yeah. Oh, I'm out.
Oh, Chris is dry.
Oh, no.
One sec, we'll take a break. 3, 2, 1. Cut! Object you own the most of that you are not collecting.
Not explicitly collecting.
Oh. That's a tricky one. Guitar picks?
Picks? That's a good one.
Yeah.
You just end up with them.
Yeah, they're everywhere. And
Like-
I play fingerstyle, and I still have them everywhere.
Drink.
Oh.
Yeah. Shut up.
Yeah.
Dallas.
Still empty.
We'll catch up when we get our new round.
I've got two. I've got two banks.
Yeah.
Yeah. But for then, yeah, guitar picks are definitely something that you just do end up with. Some people do collect them.
Yep.
It's a sad thing to collect.
It is a sad thing.
Mo-
I have a collection though too.
Most of the picks I own are actually from our next guest on the next episode of this podcast.
Oh, nice.
Actually.
Another Chris V. I'm told.
Another Chris V. Look forward to that one next week as you're listening to this, or
Two
it might
Chris
be out.
V's in one day.
Oh,
That's...
honestly.
What if we put the title as just Chris V, but it's like
Oh, then you can use the
Chris
same
V
title
1,
card.
Chris V
Yeah.
1, Chris V 2.
yeah, Chris V part one,
perfect.
Chris V part two, but he looks really different from the second part.
We shaved Chris V.
Don't tell anybody.
Honestly, I feel like you look similar enough that we just like if we just said, oh, he just had a bit of a shape. People,
If we were to
I think
shoot,
I've got about 20 years on them though.
if we were to shoot a sequel to Face Off, that's who we
Ooh.
cast.
below
Hello, Vasseur.
And then the Steadies and the Saints can do the same.
That just sounds like a French version of Face Off. Hello, Vasseur. Face Off.
Les fesses.
Le Face Off.
Le combattant brûleur.
I know way little French.
What was it? No, it's
For having a fat
is it-
for lunch.
Is
French
it?
last name.
I can't remember. But let the good times roll. And
Oui.
this is one of my favorite questions, actually, because I loved seeing Dallas's reactions to this. What is your guilty pleasure fast food? What is something that you know is a piece of shit? You're a piece of shit for ordering, but you're gonna.
Man. I love all the pieces of shit so much. It's hard to pick just one. Well, yeah, I don't know.
Like, what's
I'm
something you order that you're like, I know I'm gonna regret this, but I can't not order this?
a Big Mac every time. I
yeah?
regret it every time.
Yeah.
But it's so good. It's like
Are
a
you one
piece
of those people?
candy.
And I'm not judging you. I'm not judging. You're in the safe space here. Are you one of those guys that if you're going to go to Mackey's, you're going to order something and a Big Mac? There's always going to be a Big Mac on the order. Like you might go.
No, I can't have them anymore. They make my tummy hurt. So I so now I have to stick with the McNuggies.
Because I do know some people
cheeseburger.
who do
You
that
can-
whole like they'll order something new every time, but they'll always be the Big Mac or they'll always be like the one.
I'm sure you
item.
can ask for a Big Mac sauce for like the
I
nuggets
think
or
you
something.
can.
Honestly, you couldn't in the UK for the longest time, and when they started doing it, was just like regularly. It was just before I left. Luckily, you guys have it here, so I'm safe. But
Yeah, we
Yeah.
make Big Mac everything at home. Big Mac tacos, Big Mac pizza, Big Mac.
Yeah.
Well, I
It's
coming
like a
across the
thing,
concept,
yeah.
while they're not officially called Big Mac tacos anywhere in the city, there is no copyright infringement going on.
That's right.
There are a lot of places that do
A large Mick.
a large Mick
Yeah.
tacos, and they are magnificent. Birmingham's do a really good one, and Leo's have just started doing
Yeah,
one.
Leopold's has a good one. Yeah.
Did you know that the original Big Mac was actually from Big Boy?
Really?
Yeah, Big Boy invented it first, and then
Was it
McDonald's
just
copied
the big boy?
Yeah, yeah. It was just called the
When they
Big Boy.
changed its
I'm
name to
pretty sure.
Mac for McDonald's.
What?
Anyway, Chris, you do owe some drinks.
wow.
So
Oh
drink
yeah,
up.
I do. That's right.
And while you do, think about this next final regular question we ask. This is the recommendation station. So,
Ooh.
Chris, it's recommended that you change your hairbrush and throw it away and get a new one every 6 to 12 months. How often do you do that, if at all?
That's a bunch of bullshit, that question. And I have never changed my hairbrush once. I've had the same one since I was a baby.
Damn.
Well, we were all fairly well-haired men.
And Dallas, when he says that, can we get a close-up on the video where it just goes to gray? It's like Chris Vasseur to 2024. Hasn't killed me yet.
Although it's taking more and more of the hairs every day.
Dallas, have you ever changed your hairbrush?
I've only had one. I don't remember the last time when I got it.
I've had different hairbrushes, but I've never replaced them actively.
Just accumulated
They
them.
just show up,
I've
don't they?
moved
Yeah.
and lost a hairbrush and needed a new one.
I think I just took my mom's actually. And
Yeah, I think
My
I
best
did
friend
too.
is
It's
my
just-
mom.
They're the grossest things in the world, and we just like, oh, I'll just take that one.
You wouldn't share
Yeah.
a toothbrush, but a hairbrush? I'd borrow someone's hairbrush.
Man,
I think you've used my hairbrush in the past.
It
I
literally
haven't
has,
even
like,
on my hair.
human skin on it, but like, yeah, sure.
do you put any product in it as well, or
On my brush?
no, to your hair?
Oh no,
Uh,
you can't tell.
I used to. But
Little
now
bit of
I-
horse
Dallas, your hair's
semen
been
once in
looking
a
very
while.
floppy recently.
Yeah, no, I used to, but now I just went with a new style, so I don't. It doesn't
He's
require
laid
any.
off for the summer and he's letting it all hang out.
This is hot hobo summer.
If we're playing a concert, I like to put some horse semen in there,
Good reference. Good
but
reference.
it's not for style. It's just for makes me feel better.
It's for pleasure.
Yeah.
It's not
for
business.
pleasure.
It's,
That's
just, it's all pleasure.
Good luck.
Well, we're going to move
We're in a
on.
country band. Or no, we're not. Been doing that wrong.
drink.
Ugh.
Oh yeah. Damn.
Oh, no. We're going to move
We've had to drink more on this podcast.
That's
This-
not
this episode.
surprising.
than usual. This has been one of our less well-disciplined episodes. We're going to move on to our final couple of sections now. The one leads into the other. The first one is our Florida Man Corner. Alex is just going to give you a story from Florida or from a similar state.
This one is from Florida this week. So, Chris, I'm just going to give you a headline and ask you what you think about this. What do you think about the fact that 20 people were treated when a bug bomb went off inside Publix pharmacy in Palm Bay?
I'm for it.
You're for bug bombs in Publix pharmacies?
Oh, I just thought you had to say yes or no.
Oh, it's just your reaction to it.
Well, what kind of bugs did they use?
Well, I'm not sure.
I think it's
What's a bug bomb? I don't even know what a bug bomb is.
Oh, a bug bomb is like kind of what it says. Like it's a kind of a
Yeah, but is a bomb to kill bugs or bomb
bomb
filled-
of bugs. Yeah, was it filled with cockroaches?
So like, I'm gonna gross my sister out, because then I'm for it, because that'd be
Well,
kind
I
of
think
fun.
what happened based on the headline is obviously like they had one of these things in that just like spreads out bug killing gas.
Oh,
and
that's
so obviously that's how other people ended up having to be treated for it.
Yeah, that's less fun. That's less fun. If
Was
you,
there
like,
any mutant bugs in the crowd that they were trying to kill, though?
It's Florida, Chris.
So yes.
Well, I can imagine that
Yes,
even if
there
there
was
is like a
that.
mutant bug, there's the man being like, "I am the Bugster," and he's just in a
Yeah.
really like shitty
Like a
homemade-
Batman villain.
Probably. Have you been to Florida? It's the strangest place in the world.
I've not been. I refuse to go to Florida.
Actually, I've
refuse
never
to-
been there, but I have a friend
I-
that lived there, and he has like some
I have,
messed
a
up
40,
stories.
I have a 49-star U.S. flag. I refuse to acknowledge
Yeah.
the existence of Florida. I will respect
better
North
that way.
Dakota far before I respect Florida. But yeah, moving on to some local news now. Local to anywhere but here.
Local to us.
Yeah. Anywhere else on anything else from somewhere else.
Whoa.
In Nottingham, how do you feel about the fact that we've had to update a local playwright has had to update his Gareth Southgate England manager play to include yet another defeat in the Euros?
I'm for it.
I'm glad.
I don't know what that sentence means.
It's just a sad reality that we didn't get to.
I'm a fan of the Nottingham Forest,
Go Forest.
Ooh.
but that's about as close as I can.
We're here for you,
Yeah.
Cloughy. This episode is dedicated to Brian Clough. I'm here for you, shithouse. Alex, what have you got for us from West Manitoba?
Well, give me a minute because I now
Beautiful
don't know what
Western
this is
Manitoba.
for.
Dallas, what have you got for us from Vancouver?
Yeah. So did you know what? How do you feel that in Vancouver, Owen Wilson was spotted at a Vancouver restaurant recently?
Wow. Oh no, that's the wrong. Or no, is that
Yeah,
the
that's
right
the right
one?
one. Yeah.
That's all I gotta say. I don't know. He seems like he'd be a swell fella.
Yeah. If you want to know more, he visited an Afghani restaurant, and they posted on Instagram saying thanks for joining us, Owen Wilson, and Owen Wilson commented on their post saying, "Wow."
Oh, wow.
Wow. I will say,
That sounds a lot like him.
underappreciated culinary scene is Afghan food. It's really
Oh, it's
good.
good. Yep.
Go to the right place. It's great. Alex, have you
Okay,
found-
I'm good now. The problem was I didn't have the headline. I had the details because I thought I'd remember the headline, but then I forgot the headline. So, Chris, what do you think about the fact that the province of Manitoba is providing cash for Brandon, the city of Brandon's crime prevention efforts? They're collecting more than $270,000 through the Criminal Property Forfeiture Fund from the Brandon Police Service, and they're giving it to the city of Brandon for a variety of initiatives to help keep the community safe.
Well, if I know anything about Brandon, it's where all of Canada's top criminals come from. So that's a good investment,
Thanks, Chris.
I would say.
Well, Chris, thank you very much for being on Anything Else from Somewhere Else podcast.
Yeah, you're welcome. This is a lot of fun.
It's been a great time having you. I'm glad you've had a chance to talk about literally anything else.
Yeah.
But as we wrap up, we will give you one more minute to talk about any upcoming projects, any hopes, dreams.
And you can talk about music as much as you want.
Oh, I don't have to drink anymore?
No,
You
well,
do-
you can
I'm
if you
gonna.
want
I
to.
mean,
You're
sure.
gonna.
It's for pleasure, though.
Yeah, I don't know. We have some shows coming up this summer. Dogpatch Music Festival with the Saints at the end of July and up in Loon Lake, and then we have another show in town here at Black Rose, which isn't Somewhere Else. We just played in Somewhere Else the other day, which was
did.
awesome. That was a really, really fun show. And what else? That's about all that I can think of off the top. I'm hoping to get my newest Lego set by the end of summer.
What is it going to be?
So that's the question. There's a couple on my list right now. There's a new radio one that you put your cell phone into, and it turns it into like a little speaker.
Oh, that's cool.
Which is pretty cool, but it looks like a retro radio. That's kind of neat. And there's a new Batman one, so
Yeah.
that of course is top of the list.
You also have a new guitar you're building?
I have a new archtop I'm building right now. Yeah, it's pretty cool. I'm hoping to. I haven't built an instrument in about 2 years, so it's nice to start one. And I'm building one for myself. I haven't built myself one since I built my acoustic that I play on stage. So it's kind of fun to be jumping into that again after a little bit of a break.
Do you think you save money building guitars rather than buying them? Or
Nope. My partner just walked in. A good thing she didn't hear that question. She just would have rolled her eyes and like, no, he doesn't save any money.
Well, anyway, thank you so much, Chris Vasseur.
Oh, thank you guys so much. It's been a blast.
It's been a blast. Great to have you
pleasure.
on. Hopefully, we'll see you again soon.
And
Yes.
thanks as always. Thank you to Somewhere Else Pub for allowing us to host this event.
Absolutely.
Eventually, we'll try and do
Best
like a
wings in
live
town.
podcast here. It could be cool. But
Oh, that'd be cool.
Oh yeah, best wings in town, reasonably priced food, really great drinks, and great staff.
And
Yeah,
the
honestly,
stage
yeah.
is this new stage that's been here for how long? When
about
did
a
the
year
stage
now,
come in?
about
About
a
a year,
year.
yeah.
Yeah, about
the
a year.
stage is rad. Yep.
Yeah, it's a great.
Hottest stage in town right now.
Honestly, if you're in Saskatoon, there are worse places to come to, and very few better places.
Oh, absolutely. Yep. Always a good time.